Once again, it's the infamous back in the house once again. Drop a gem on him.
To the masses, crypto is a hypothesis, an educated guess, but to the few with their eyes open, evidence shows this is the future. Today, this video is on psychology. We've got a couple topics to cover. Let's go. Many people, including Warren Buffett, believe that there's no use case for crypto besides selling it to someone else. This is called the greater fool theory. Simply put, the greater fool theory is buying something that's overpriced and selling it to someone else for a profit. To prove this is wrong, first let's break down how value is determined. Usually it's done by the returns it'll give. We'll use AT&T and Engine as examples. But with AT&T, dividends are how the value is determined. To receive a percent of the profits, all you have to do is hold the stock. Engine is a token built on the Ethereum blockchain. Off the rip, staking Engine provides returns. The other way is play to earn, meaning by playing games, you can earn in-game currency or NFTs that you could sell for fiat or trade for the native token. Both of these add value in the very early stages of crypto. Granted, there are market cycles, which we'll cover in a bit. Next up, saying crypto is overpriced. This shows ignorance. You can't put a value on it like you would other things. One, because it hasn't reached its true potential, and two, there's a set amount that can never be made. This ties into Economics 101, supply and demand. Demand increases, causing the supply to become scarce, ultimately driving up the price. I'm sure most of y'all heard of FOMO and FUD. They're common terms in crypto right now. These manipulation tactics have been around way before. Let's dissect them. FOMO, fear of missing out. It's a feeling that others are having more fun, living better lives, or experiencing better things than you. This causes envy and affects self-esteem. FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. This works by amplifying the fear that somebody already has, causing you to focus on negative emotions like depression, anxiety, and panic. Pay attention, because this is what moves the masses. Einstein said there are three great forces in the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. Stupidity leads people into situations where fear and greed are the roots of their downfall. So if fear leads to avoidance, greed leads to attraction. We all know fear is a strong emotion. Did you know it'll lead to impulsive reactions? Like buying in at all-time highs, watching the value drop 50%, and selling. On the other hand, greed makes people more likely to do risky and reckless things, like getting involved in a high-risk, high-reward situation, hitting a 10x, and investing more instead of pulling profits. This is what happens when emotion kicks in, people. It clouds your judgment, which ultimately costs you in the end. Science shows when our brain detects a threat, the nervous system triggers physical symptoms. This is to keep us safe. The heart races to run from danger, the stomach feels upset, that's to slow down digestion, and the palms sweat in an attempt to cool us off. Now, unless you're hoarding, there aren't a lot of physical signs with greed, but there are warnings. They're self-centered, it's all about them, and never satisfied, always wanting more. Just like drugs, greed is an addiction directly tied to gambling. There are different types of investors, like the HODL or hold on for dear life. They're in it for the long run. But day traders can be either strategists or gamblers. For example, if you buy a coin knowing it'll be listed on Coinbase tomorrow, that's a strategy for profits. If not, you're basically betting on red or black on a roulette table. Because you can't bet on sports at 3 a.m. or go to the casino while you're at work, with cryptos, you can invest 24/7. The charts move significantly multiple times a day, giving some instant gratification. This causes a release of dopamine, aka the feel-good chemical. Dopamine also plays a huge factor in motor function and decision making. This is where addiction could set in, doing short-term flips, constantly watching your phone, and chasing all-time highs. Really, it's the feeling you want. There are 4 phases of a cycle, with psychology tied in deeply. To be successful in a cycle, you have to do the opposite of the masses. Warren Buffett has a great quote about this. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Seasoned vets know this and use it to their advantage. The first phase is accumulate, or the buy-in. It's between capitulation and disbelief. This is where the inexperienced sell thinking it's over, and the vets buy in at a discount knowing the cycle will start again. This phase is known as the markup. While everyone is FOMOing in and holding, getting caught up in greed, thinking new highs are coming, the vets and smart money are taking profits. This happens between thrill and euphoria. The third phase is distribution. This is filled with fear, greed, and hope, a disastrous mix of emotions. This is the downward slope around panic. People sell to break even or take losses. Fourth phase is markdown. It's usually the inexperienced investors that end up selling out of fear. That's when the vets come in, grab, knowing they're close to the bottom and the cycle will start again. You have to learn not to take cycles personally. Controlling your emotions is key to being a good investor. No one can guarantee where we are on a market cycle. Only time will tell. So when you buy, the price crashes and fear starts to creep up, keep in mind, this is a solid project with use cases and strong partnerships. Separate emotions from logic. Remember, you only lose if you sell. I highly recommend praying and studying God's Word. Personally, I'm trying to get better with controlling emotions. And since it takes at least 21 days to develop a good habit, I am going through this page you see here. If you go on social media, you'll see Sheep Army, XRP or Die. Crypto investments have become part of people's identity. This is tribalism. It's like sports or politics. You got your team and you rep. The problem with this is people's perception becomes warped. They only see the pros instead of the bigger picture, what could and need to be fixed. Our allegiance shouldn't be to a coin. It's God, then family. We're focused on good investments here. Lastly, I want to speak on balance. This is a stressful time and a very stressful field. Family, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being is priceless. It's important to take time away to keep you sharp and continue making the correct investments. 1 Kings 3:5-14 speaks about Solomon asking for wisdom and God being so pleased he gave him everything. This happens time and time again. Read the Bible, search for God, and pray. He will bless you with more than you could ever imagine.